Welcome everyone to Unscripted Coding. Today we are going to play around with Perplexity's Comet browser, which is one of many AI browsers. Now we've looked at Microsoft Edge already, and I thought that was a really good entry for just everyday people. You don't have to be a paid user or anything, and you get the basics of summarizing web pages, YouTube videos, and also comparing multiple tabs. And I think that's really useful. But what's missing for free users is the ability to automate workflows. So many of these agentic AI browsers are promising the ability for you to tell it to do something, plan my trip to Europe, and it's going to go and find all the information, assemble it, open the tabs for you to check out your tickets, all of that. And in all honesty, I don't think we're ready for it yet, but Comet is probably the furthest along. So I wanted to show you just a few tests to show how long it takes, how smooth it is, the accuracy. This is obviously not comprehensive, but I'm going to move over to a side and show you Perplexity. Now, you will need a Perplexity account, but these are being handed free so easily through your education, through PayPal, through your internet provider that I'd say most people in North America probably have a way to get 12 months of Perplexity for free. In any case, you have Perplexity as your home page. It doesn't really surprise me, and I can ask things. For those of you who are not familiar with Perplexity, they allow you to choose different models. Sonar is their in-house model based on open source models, I think possibly DeepSeek and Llama. But you also have different things you can do. So deep research and basically a canvas to work on code and text, and also searching different sources specifically. So finance is a big focus of Perplexity. Anyways, this isn't about Perplexity. What I want to do is just go in and we'll start a brand new chat here. And you have an AI assistant ready to go on the sidebar. This is basic stage one requirement. And here, you know what? Their suggestion is pretty good. Highlight useful content. And so it's looking at the context right here that I have an article open, and it pulled out some of the major points. What is nice is, again, you can choose different models, but what I thought was really cool is that you can save these instructions as a shortcut. So this one, highlight useful content. In the future, I can just say, well, highlight useful content. But if I had a longer instruction, say, pretend I am a character in the DC universe and I am trying to design a newspaper article for the universe on this page. Please tell me how. That is a very long set of instructions, and if for some reason I'm writing a book, I'm building a game related to that, I can just say /DC or something like that and keep it going. You'll find that on Reddit there are some really cool suggestions on how you can do this, but I think it's a good idea because all of us do things differently. I frequently look at legal documents, so pulling out important dates could be one of them, and it's just look at this, pull out effective date, end date, renewal dates, all of those in one go. Okay, so we have the assistant. The other obvious one is voice. So I can just have a conversation, and I'm going to mute my desktop audio right here and allow it to go. Can you tell me what 2B is compared to the rest?
A 2B pencil has a relatively soft lead making it darker and smoother compared to harder pencils like H.
Okay, I'll stop it there. I think the basics of it is pretty obvious. If you're working through a long article, that might come in handy. Where I think it's really interesting and useful is you can have multiple tabs, and this is what I found incredibly useful in Edge, is having conversations about multiple tabs. Now, I am one of those people that perennially has 50 plus tabs open because I'm researching something. Here, I'm doing just a mockery of it, which is 2 tabs. But here's Assassin's Creed at the other one, all dagger, and let's just put in all sword as well. I'm using the at symbol to pick up the tabs. And then I'm going to ask, what are the most powerful weapons in the game? And you can imagine I could pull up all sorts of different ones. This just happens to be the game I'm playing, and there aren't very many weapons, but I might, in other games, pull up, 6, 7, 8 tabs for all the classes of weapons. And here, it's pulling data from 2 different tabs. I think Comet, when they're running through examples here, shows you, I think the best use case of this was this shopping one. So it pulled up multiple different tabs for bikes, and it just asks which one will get to fastest. Oh, by the way, we could do this in a sidebar, but you can open it up and have a new conversation with Perplexity on a full page as well. And of course, we can move this tab. What is going on here? Left and right as well. So we can resize it larger and smaller. I'm already running on a shortened screen for this video format, but whatever. Okay. Here is the tricky part. And so what we're going to do is go into Assistant and say, can you find me a cheap bike for kids that I can pick up off Craigslist? Obviously, I'm on the Craigslist page already, and what you're going to see is I'm going to click enter, and the assistant is first going to start searching. I think it's figuring out whether it is a conversation. But what's going to happen is it's going to start with this blue border. That's the Comet assistant. And what you're seeing is that it is pulling things up, and you'll see that it went into the bike section. It's trying to paste things in. Probably picked up what I had in my clipboard beforehand. But what you should notice is that this is kind of a slow process. Now, if I was, and I am, a human being doing this, I would be going in and out of these pages over and over very quickly. Just click, no, click, no, click, no. But it is a computer, and it is trying to pick up the images, trying to pick up the text, and trying to figure things out. What I should note is that way back we had this computer vision project from Claude. Computer vision, Claude. I think it was called computer use, yeah. And that thing was agonizingly slow because what it did was it took a screenshot of your screen, and then it just asked AI, well, where do I move the mouse? What is the coordinates? And then let's say it's 1000, 1000, and it clicks here, and then the next. Because those image analyses, especially in those earlier days, it took days to do anything meaningful. Whereas with this assistant right now, it is actually picking up HTML for the most part instead. Now, of course, computer use can be generalized, so I could theoretically ask it to play StarCraft 2. It would be agonizingly slow and make terrible decisions, but it could do anything, whereas these new browsers are focusing on the fact that all web pages are in a standardized HTML format. And so it's looking at the HTML code and going, there's a button here and here and here, and I can interact with them in different ways. It's by no means fast, but it is more manageable. Now, the other thing I want you to notice is that it is running in the background. What I mean by that is that I pulled up other tabs, and this makes it way more manageable because for Claude computer use, I had to open a separate container and run it there. They were very worried that it might click random things and delete things from your computer. So good idea to sandbox it, but it also needed your whole computer because it needed to take screenshots. It needed full control. Here, Comet has finally gotten somewhere. It had that notification dot if you didn't notice, and here are the 5 cheapest bikes. Wow, there's one for $1. Interesting. Can we see where the dollar one is? Okay, it's not obvious, so wait for that to pass. Okay, I don't necessarily see the $1 option here, but that's okay. We'll chalk it up to hallucination, but what it's not doing is making an order for me. I suppose I could tell it now shoot off an email. But the next thing I wanted to do is just one last test here, and it's just to say you add the latest Pixel watch to my cart. And what it's going to do is hopefully search up Pixel Watch and add it to my cart. What I find interesting is I understand there are a number of safeguards so that it will not actually check anything out. It'll just add it to your cart anyways, not because of my instructions. Let's just see very quickly if there's anything else here. Voice, search, email. Email is probably a big thing. Videos is another big one. We don't need to test it. I know AI's gotten very good at it, but you could just ask it to summarize the video. Generally speaking, it's picking up the what do you call it? The closed captions, the subtitles, to try and get it. All in all, let's just allow this time. All in all, I think we're getting kind of close. This is a functional demo, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm just hoping that other AI web browsers come pretty close to this. I'm just gonna wait for it to actually put one in cart. Now that I think about it, it's potentially struggling because it's trying to figure out what do I want, gray or a different, sorry, obsidian or a different color, the size of the watch, whether I wanted LTE and 5G. So here, the latest Pixel watch, it did identify that it's 41 millimeters and obsidian. Default options and the least expensive variant were chosen as requested. Now, I didn't request it, but reasonable, and they did highlight that they chose default options. So, all in all, do check it out. It is quite an interesting world we're going to live in, because I'm just looking here and going, please add a bunch of promising stocks to my watch list or something like that. The immediate thing I'm thinking can be useful is I do use Craigslist quite a bit, and I could just imagine asking it to go into my account, go through each of mine, and adjust the titles, or for anything that's been sitting there longer than a week, please lower the price by 10%. Give it those things and just let it run in the background. All right, I've talked long enough, but TLDR, Edge AI browser has really polished features, works really well. Comet looking really promising. Now, this can annoy people. I can see that this isn't ready for general use, but it's quite smooth. And if you're willing to kind of think about what it's doing and let it run on the side, could come in handy actually. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Unscripted Coding. Bye.